Hello and welcome to another update video about Bonk. On the Bonk chart, we've seen that one more low that I actually, didn't necessarily want to see, but it was still likely because we were still hovering below resistance, and one more low was definitely likely given the current microstructure. But still, we haven't seen enough upside yet to confirm a low in place. The wave count is now quite full. Here, I made the case that one more low is likely, given that I could count another 4 or 5. Well, with that low and that possible reversal candle, I mean, the low might be in. I would not get too excited too quickly in the current environment. We are still moving in a descending price channel, okay? So the trend is still down. But we're quite deep in support. So obviously, the lower we go, the better the reward to risk ratio. And actually, the lower the risk, actually, in terms of getting a long position, entering a long position, given that the stops can be quite tight. Still, though, you can't, unless you really set a stop below the last swing low, you will risk getting stopped out because we don't really have a reliable reversal signal from an Elliott wave point of view. But obviously, the low could be in here. That's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is to set a stop below the box, or set a stop below the invalidation point. I mean, that's black and white. If we break below this low from the 13th of April, this so-called 1-2 setup will be formally invalidated. Already below the support area, however, it will become very, let's say, unlikely that we get upside follow through, okay? So I think there are a few different ways of dealing with this. First of all, understanding that altcoin setups are always more risky than Bitcoins because a lot is dependent on Bitcoin. It's not as simple as that. There's much more to that, but this is not the place to discuss that. But yeah, there is much more. It's not as simple as, Bitcoin goes down or the altcoins go down. It's much more nuanced, much more complex than that. They all move in their individual wave degrees with their individual support levels and so on. But basically it means if we now see a bit of upside on the Bitcoin chart, we could get a good bounce from here. The wave count to the downside is full. We have this descending price channel. All I can share with you are the relevant pivots. Until now, it was basically still ideally supposed to go down lower. The wave count is now full, but the bulls now need to turn up. This is only a potential at the moment. Trend is still down, still forming lower lows, still forming lower highs. And what do we need to see? Well, I need to see, for a first confirmation that a low is in, a 5-wave move up. So we only have, we don't even have wave 1. Okay, so it would need to be this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to see 5 waves. 5 waves that break out of this corrective price channel. Now, you could see just the price channel breakout as a signal, but from an Elliott wave point of view, I just need those 5 waves. Okay, this is obviously a trend line that, if broken, could give us a signal. And it's been following this trend channel really nicely. So it's pretty good. Pretty good trend line up here. We have 3 touch points there, 1, 2, and the top 3. So I find that quite meaningful. Looking at the microstructure, I mean, again, the wave 5 might be an ABC structure because we're dealing with a diagonal. The wave 1 was an ABC, the wave 2, the 3 was an ABC, 4, and ABC. I would have liked to see a more healthy wave 4. So I cannot rule out that we get another lower high and lower low. But that's why I say I need to see the 5 waves up. So that's where we are. I would be very much careful until we get further confirmation that a low is in. But you know how quickly it can happen in crypto. I mean, altcoins, they are mad sometimes. They just go mad from one moment to the other, okay? Therefore, I think it's worth observing Bitcoin very closely at the moment. Bitcoin hasn't really given me a strong indication we've bottomed, okay? Actually, no indication at all. And therefore, don't be surprised if this one breaks. We have seen some altcoin setups break in recent days, especially the smaller time frames. They are less stable, more fragile. And you get these phases where a lot of smaller time frame charts break, or smaller setups on the smaller time frames break. And then you get phases where they all hold. So to keep you safe, adequate position sizing is needed. Keeping it small in corrections. You don't want to be positioned with large positions in corrections. And then just definitely knowing when to stop out, right? It's not the best time to ask when to stop out when you are already in a trade. You need to know that before. But yeah, it's all I want to highlight here. We're now at a key point. Can still go down a little lower. The last reliable support for this wave 2 corrective pullback is 161,484. And if a third wave starts, I mean, it ideally starts from this support region. That's the update about Bonk. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.